Suzuka circuit, famous for deciding world championships through controversial collisions rather than memorable overtaking moves, which means a good qualifying position is half the battle won. Bruno Senna's uncle Ayrton had plenty of incidents at this track, and Bruno was involved in one of his own when Jean-Eric Vergne blocked the Williams driver at the chicane.
We've seen it, we've told Charlie, it's unbelievable what he did there.
Paul di Resta was another to encounter traffic, missing out on a Q3 place by just 5/100ths of a second.
It has been quite tough with traffic in general. It's been quite bad, and just on that in the middle sector I just came across Grosjean a little bit, and we saw the car is quite sensitive to people in front, and just caught an inside wheel. Probably lost half a tenth, which was probably enough to put me through.
Having looked good all weekend, Felipe Massa failed to make the top 10, and it was a bad day at the office for McLaren. Lewis Hamilton got the setup wrong and starts down in 9th, just one place behind his teammate Jenson Button, who was actually 3rd fastest, but an enforced gearbox penalty puts him 8th on the grid.
So yeah, starting down in 8th, it hurts a little bit, especially here at Suzuka, a circuit I love, and obviously won last year, but you still got to be positive and think you can challenge them for a win.
But the final moments of qualifying were a series of bad luck stories. Fernando Alonso felt he'd been held up by Sebastian Vettel at the last corner. The stewards agreed, but only gave Vettel a reprimand, whereas Lewis Hamilton was on a better lap, but Kimi Raikkonen's spin put the yellow caution flags out, forcing drivers including Hamilton to slow down and ruining their final attempts.
Kimi, what happened?
I spun.
And a bit of a disaster then for you and for a few others with the yellow flags.
I don't care what happened to the others.
The only man to pass the scene of the accident and not slow down too much was Kamui Kobayashi, who lines up 3rd on the grid at his home race. But steering clear of all the mayhem was Red Bull Racing, Mark Webber 2nd, and Suzuka specialist Sebastian Vettel on pole for the 4th year in a row. So Red Bull lock out the front row for the first time in 2012. Button's 5-place grid penalty means Kobayashi lines up next. Alonso and Hamilton have work to do from 6th and 9th, Felipe Massa joining Hamilton on row 5. Nico Hülkenberg also had a grid penalty for changing the gearbox, relegating him to row 8, while Vergne was penalised 3 spots for that block on Senna. And Michael Schumacher starts his final Japanese Grand Prix from the back row of the grid, courtesy of a 10-place grid penalty for a driving infraction at the last race in Singapore.